Hey there. Welcome to CyberPulse by Quantum Shield, the podcast where we make cybersecurity less intimidating and a lot more exciting. Every episode, we're diving into the latest digital drama, from sneaky hackers to the coolest defense strategies, all while sharing tips you can actually use. So grab a coffee, get comfy, and let's navigate this crazy digital world together.
Ever get this feeling like someone out there is trying to pick your lock digitally? Like they're not after some faceless corporation, they're after you.
Yeah.
And it's not brute force, not passwords and all that. It's sneakier, more like
More like a con game.
exactly convincing you to hand over the keys to the kingdom without even realizing it.
That's social engineering in a nutshell. And honestly, it's one of the most effective and scariest cybersecurity threats out there today.
And that's what we're diving deep into today. How to spot it, how to shut it down.
Because nobody wants to be that person.
Yeah.
The one who fell for the oldest trick in the book and gave away the farm.
No kidding. So to kick things off, I mean, we've tossed the term around, but what exactly is social engineering? When we say that, what are we talking about?
It's a bit like, picture this. Okay, you've got this super high-tech security system, lasers, the works. But then someone just walks in through an unlocked side door because they tricked the guard into holding it open for them.
Okay, I see. So it's about exploiting the human element.
Exactly. It's about manipulating people, using deception, persuasion, playing on our natural instincts like our trust in authority or our desire to be helpful to trick us into doing something we wouldn't normally do.
And the scary part is it actually works. One of the articles we dug into mentioned this study where they found that something like 90% of data breaches start with a successful social engineering attack.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? And it's getting harder and harder to spot. It's not just those dodgy emails promising you $1 million if you just hand over your bank details, though those are still out there.
Right. Those we can usually sniff out a mile away, hopefully.
Exactly. But these days, they're crafting these super targeted, super believable scams. I mean, they're practically works of art.
It's true. They really do their homework, these guys. Like that example from, I think it was a Verizon report we were looking at, where these scammers targeted Netflix users with this whole suspicious activity email.
Oh yeah, that one was brutal. People were freaking out thinking their accounts were compromised.
Because it looked so real. They even had the Netflix logo, the right fonts, everything.
Because they know what they're doing. They're tapping into that fear, that urgency that makes you click without thinking.
Speaking of clicking without thinking, I feel like phishing emails are just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, absolutely. That's just one delivery method.
Like the research we looked at mentioned phone calls, social media, even in-person interactions as potential attack vectors.
And that's what makes it so tricky. You could get a call that seems like it's from your bank, using your own information, even mentioning a recent transaction to throw you off, and bam, they've got you.
Okay, so say I get a call like that. Heart's racing, what's the best course of action? Asking for a friend, obviously.
Always verify. Don't just take their word for it. If it's your bank, hang up, find their number independently, and call them back. Same goes for any company, any organization. Trust but verify. It's really the golden rule here.
And I'm guessing the same applies to suspicious links and messages on social media.
Absolutely. If it seems even slightly off, don't click on it. Report it. Block the sender if you can.
And that's something I really want to emphasize here, reporting. Often we see something fishy online and think, oh, it's probably nothing, or someone else has already reported it.
Yeah, that bystander effect can be a real problem.
Because those reports, even if they seem small or insignificant, they're actually crucial.
Think of it like a neighborhood watch, right? Every little detail, every suspicious character you report helps build a bigger picture, helps the authorities connect the dots.
So if you see something, say something. It's like noticing a broken window in your neighbor's house. You're not overreacting by telling someone about it.
Exactly. You could be preventing something much worse. And it's up to all of us to create that culture of vigilance where reporting these things is encouraged and taken seriously.
So we've covered a lot of ground, from the what and why of social engineering to the very real dangers it poses.
And hopefully given our listeners some solid strategies to stay safe out there in the digital Wild West.
Absolutely. And I think if there's one key takeaway from everything we've discussed today, it's that knowledge is power.
Couldn't agree more. The more you know about these tactics, the less likely you are to fall victim to them. So stay informed, be cautious, trust your gut, and you'll be well ahead of the game.
Now, we've talked a lot about how these attackers use our emotions against us: fear, urgency, even just that desire to be helpful. But what about turning the tables? How can we use our emotions, our sense of community, even our sense of humor as a shield against these attacks?
Now, there's a thought.
Thanks for hanging out with us on CyberPulse. Remember, cybersecurity doesn't have to be scary. It's all about staying sharp and a little bit savvy. Keep learning, stay curious, and don't let those cyber gremlins get you down. Catch you next time, and until then, stay safe, stay smart, and keep crushing it online.